What's up, all my fitness junkies? I'm Chelsea, the Pilates junkie, if you didn't already know. Welcome to my channel for the first time if you're here for the first time, and welcome back if you are joining me for the second time on your mat. We are going to get straight into it. So we are in our rest position, knees into the chest. We pull our shins into our chest, and then we release. Pull your shins into your chest, and then you release. Now, even though we're pulling our shins into your chest, I want you to relax in the neck and the shoulders. And I want you to pull so much to where your tailbone lifts up off your mat. This is going to help you release in your low back. And it just feels good, right? Let's do some knee circles. So hands on both knees, take your knees in opposite directions and just circle them in one direction. And after a couple of times, circle them in the opposite direction. And breathe here. Let's now place one foot down on the ground, then the other. Let's have our knees about 2 inches apart and our feet about 2 inches apart. This is called your hook line position. We're in a neutral spine, neutral pelvis. So we have that little low space below the low back, below the neck. Let's bring our arms straight up toward the sky. We're going to get straight into puppet arms. So I want you to take an inhale breath, and I want you to lift your shoulder blades off your mat. And then as you exhale, you plug them back into your mat. And again, so you reach for the sky, and then you plug your shoulder blades back into your mat. And a couple more here. Abs engaged even though we're not moving the spine at all. Let's do one more. Reaching and lowering. Let's turn our hands to face our palms towards our thighs. And let's go straight into arm circles. So hands go down by your hips. They open out to the side like the letter T. They go up by the head and they come back to the top. So again, we place our hands down by the knees. We're still hovering the arms off the ground though. Arms go down by your hips. Your arms rotate, palms facing up as you circle your arms around and back to the top. So as you're circling your arms, making sure that our front ribs aren't popping out. So really engage your abs, zip your front ribs, and lift your abs in and up. We're completely stable in our lower half. Our shoulders are away from our ears. And let's reverse the circle. So arms go up by your ears, they circle down by your hips, and they come back to the top. And we're breathing the entire time. So as your arms fall back towards your ears, make sure you're not popping your ribs out. Really pull your abs in and up. Zip your front ribs. Really pull your rib cage down into your mat. Let's go straight into arm opening. So palms facing in now. Let's drop our hands out to the side like a letter T. And they come back to the top. They come out to the letter T and they come back to the top. So I like to inhale as my arms go out to a T, and I exhale, scoop your abs in as they come back to the top. We're relaxed in the shoulders, so pull them away from your ears. We have that low space below the low back. And we're breathing. I want to see energy through those fingertips, making sure our legs aren't flaring out to the side. They're still stable and strong. So let's now get into some toe taps. Let's glue our legs together like we have one leg. We have the low space below the low back. Arms are long down by our side, palms facing down. Let's lift our left leg to tabletop, shin parallel to your ceiling. Let's lower the foot like we're tapping it in water, and we lift it to tabletop. So I like to inhale to lower. As you lift, you exhale and scoop your abs in and up. And we're moving from our hip socket, so make sure you're not bending from the knee here. Our leg is completely frozen and we're just moving from the hip socket. Inhale to lower. Exhale, scoop the abs in to lift. Let's pause here. Take an inhale breath. We exhale to lift the right leg to tabletop. Inhale to lower the left, flat on the ground. And now we start on the other side. So dipping your right toes in water, we lift it to tabletop. Right leg dips in water and we lift our leg to tabletop. So keep going for me here. Our leg, like I said before, is completely stable. We're not bending from the knee, so make sure you keep that knee nice and solid. Inhale to lower. Exhale, let all the air out to lift. And again, tapping it in water and lifting it like a feather. Inhale, pause. Exhale, lift the opposite leg to tabletop. We hold, abs are in. And now let's toe tap both. So both legs go down an inch and they lift. Squeezing the legs together, down an inch, and we lift to tabletop. Very small movement. Don't go so low to where you start arching in the back. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. Good. Inhale to lower. Exhale to lift. This is a very small movement. Let's bring both knees into our chest and give yourself that little Pilates hug. Let's get into a variation of toe taps. So, our legs are glued together like we have one leg, the little low space below the low back. Let's lift our left leg to tabletop. We dip the foot down. Now we extend the leg toward the sky. We dip the foot down like we're tapping into water. We come to tabletop, and then we extend the leg long towards the sky. And again, we have that low space below the low back. We're engaging our abs as we bring it to tabletop and extend the leg long toward the sky. Now, if this isn't for you, just keep on going to tabletop. You don't have to extend your leg long. We're relaxed in our shoulders, relaxed in our fingertips. We extend the leg long, back to tabletop, and we lower the foot. And we lift to tabletop, extend the leg, back to tabletop. Inhale here and pause. Exhale, we lift the opposite leg to tabletop. Left foot goes down on the ground, and we start on the other side. We lower, we lift to tabletop, extend the leg long towards the sky. Good. So essentially, we're just adding a leg extension. Inhale, exhale, scoot the abs in and up, extend, back to tabletop, and we lower the toe, tap it in water, we lift it like a feather, we extend the leg, and we lower back to tabletop. Beautiful work. Abs are pulling in, belly button to your spine, nice relaxed in the shoulders and the head. Good. Take an inhale breath. Pause. Exhale to lift. Squeeze the legs together. Now both legs. So half an inch down. Back to tabletop. Extend both legs. Squeeze them together. Half an inch down. Back to tabletop. Extend the legs. Good. So abs are working hard here to keep that low space below our low back. Again, don't drop your toes too low to the ground, else you'll start arching in your back. And you definitely do not want that. Our palms and our triceps are pressing strongly into our mat. And bring both legs into your chest and twirl out your knees a little bit. Release any tension that you have. Let's now place both feet on the ground. Glue our legs together like we have just one leg. We have the low space below the low back. We're in our neutral spine and neutral pelvis. Let's bring our arms to a low V, palms facing up. Shoulders are planted into the mat. We're going to take an inhale breath and we're going to go straight into knee drop. So let's inhale and drop our knees only halfway down to the right. And we exhale to the top. We drop our knees to the left. Pick your right foot up. And we twist back to the top. And to the right, our left foot picks up off the ground, and now we twist toward the top. So our abs are pulling in and up the entire time. We're working our oblique muscle, our side ab. And as we're rocking side to side, make sure your shoulders stay planted into your mat. So as you rock to one side, like the left here, make sure your right shoulder doesn't lift up off the ground. And we twist to the right on an inhale breath. We exhale to lift back to the top. We drop our knees halfway down to the left. Squeeze your legs together. We're squeezing our inner thighs together. And again to the right, squeezing, and back to the top. And to the left, we pick up our right foot slightly, keeping our knees at the same height the entire time. Good, everyone. Let's now place our feet about 2 inches apart, knees about 2 inches apart. Our hands go right behind our head. Make sure you're cupping the back of your head, not interlacing the fingers. We're going to go straight into chest lift. So we have the low space below the low back. We lift the head, lift the chest, looking at the belly. Shoulders are down, and we lower. Good. We lift, keeping the low space below the low back. We're looking at the belly here, and we lower. So inhale at the bottom. We exhale, pull the shoulders away from the ears as we lift, keeping the low space below the low back, and we lower. Good. And we lift. Make sure you keep your elbows wide here. They're going to want to hug center. Don't let them. And we lift. Keep that low space below the low back. Abs are in. Your tail will want to tuck here. And again, we lift. Pull your abs in and up. Belly button to the spine. And we lower. Let's get into chest lift with rotation next. So our legs are the same. Hands are the same. Lift our elbows about an inch off the ground so we're not popping our chest out. We take an inhale breath. As we exhale, we lift, we pause, and we twist to the left. We come back to center and we lower. We lift, looking at the belly, keeping that low space below the low back. We twist to the right. Wide elbows, and we lower. We lift on an exhale breath. Shoulders are away from the ears. We twist with wide elbows to the left. Come back to center, and we lower. We lift. Legs are still nice and stable here. We're twisting from our rib cage. Inhale at the bottom. We exhale to lift. We twist to the left. Wide elbows here. Back to center, and we lower. Lift the head, lift the chest. As we lift, don't tuck your tail. We twist to the right with wide elbows, shoulders down. Back to center, and we lower. Good. Go ahead and rock your head no. It feels good. Releases in the neck muscles there. Let's extend both legs long all the way down onto the mat. Relax in them. We are going to get ready for leg circles. This is an intense exercise, especially for beginners. So let's bend our right knee into our chest and let's extend the leg long and we bend. So we're holding behind our right thigh. We extend the leg long and we bend. And again, extend and bend. Let's pause at the top. Let's flex and point the foot. So with a long leg, we're flexing and pointing. You should feel hamstrings stretching here. Good. Let's bend the leg. Let's have our arms come out to a low V, palms facing up. You can have your palms facing down as well. I like to have mine facing up during this exercise. So let's extend the right leg. Now let's cross the leg over our body, down and around. So we cross our right leg to the left, down by the left foot, we go out to the right and back to the top. So we're making a circle with our foot. Now, our circle doesn't have to be extremely big. It can be the size of a dinner plate. Our abs are in. We're not rocking in our hips. Let's reverse our circle. So out to the side, down by your foot, we cross the body, back to the top. Good. So out to the side, down by your foot, cross the body, and back to the top. Relax, and your shoulders are going to want to tense up here. Last one here. We pause. Let's flex our foot now, and we lower it all the way to our mat. Let's now bend our left leg. Let's give it a little pull. Breathe here. Our hands are going to be behind our thighs, so take both hands behind the left thigh. We extend the leg long towards the ceiling, and then we bend. We extend and we bend. Extend and bend. Let's extend and bend. We'll pause at the top here. Let's flex and point the foot. So flex and point. Flex and point. Relax in your shoulders, relax in your neck. Good, let's bend at the leg. And our arms go to our low V. You can have your palms facing up or down, up to you. Let's extend the left leg long. Now this time we cross over to the right, down by our right foot, out to the side, and back to the top. Good, so we're drawing a little, almost like a little teardrop on the ceiling or in the sky. And our circle doesn't have to be extremely big. Our abs are still pulling in and up, relaxed in the shoulders. Let's reverse. So out to the left, down by your right foot, cross the body, back to the top. And I am burning here. These weights are no joke on my ankles. My beginners do not try this with weights. Last one here. We flex and we go all the way down. Beautiful work. So now our legs should be glued together, but if they're not, glue them together like you have one leg. And let's flex your feet like you're standing on the floor. We're going to get into our half roll up. So hands go up toward the sky, palms facing in. Plug those shoulders in like we did in the beginning of class into your mat. Now, we take an inhale breath, and as we exhale, we lift the head, lift the chest, looking at the belly, and we roll back down. We should have that low space below the low back still. Now we lift the head, lift the chest, flexing the feet, and we roll back down. Good, so take your inhale breath to start. We exhale, pull the abs in and up, looking at the belly, shoulders are away from the ears. And now we roll back down. Inhale, exhale like someone's pulling your fingertips, they're pulling you, scoop your abs in and up, and we lower. So this is a small movement, but it is very hard work. Now as you take your exhale to lift, you're trying to lift up until you feel the tips of your shoulder blades digging into your mat. So inhale, we exhale to lift the head, lift the chest. Feel your shoulder blades lift up off the mat, and we lower back down. We inhale, reaching long with the fingertips. We exhale to lift. Look at that belly. Keep that low space below the low back. Are your feet still flexed? Uh-oh. I bet they weren't. It's okay. It happens to everyone. So as you roll back, let your arms go all the way down to the floor behind you. Now you can let your spine arch, let your back arch here. Let your legs relax. Now, with heavy arms, let's take our arms out to the side and down by our hips. And then they come out to the side and our arms are up by our ears. These are called snow angels. So heavy arms. Just breathe here. You feel some crackliness in your shoulders and in your bones. That's okay. Let's take our arms up all the way. Let's grab behind both of our thighs and rock up to sit. This next exercise is super fun. It's called rolling like a ball, but we'll do it in steps, okay? So make sure there's nothing behind you. Let's scoot up towards the end of our mat. So scoot down, I should say, towards the end of your mat. And let's have our feet together, but our knees apart, as wide as our shoulders. Take your hands, place them behind your thighs. Let's have wide elbows here. And we are going to curve the spine. So look at the belly. We should look like a little ball now. Let's lift up our feet and rock back on our sits bones. And we're just holding here. So squeeze your feet together. Looking down at the belly, our spine should be curved and we're holding. Abs are in. This is already a lot of work. So take our feet down. We take a small break. So next we're going to start rolling backward. So make sure your spine is curved throughout this exercise the entire time. No straight spines here. So feet are glued together. Our knees are about shoulder width apart. Take our hands behind our thighs with wide elbows. We rock back onto our sits bones. Looking at the belly, our shoulders are down. So we're curved in the spine. Now we take an inhale breath as we rock back to the tips of our shoulder blades and we rock up to sit. Good. We inhale back and we exhale to rock up to sit. Keep your feet towards your bum the entire time. Abs are in, shoulders are down as we rock up to sit. So as you're rocking, try not to let your feet come backwards and try not to hoist up. So don't use your momentum to lift you up. Use your abs to lift you up. Scooping the abs in as you lift. We hold and we roll back on an inhale. We exhale to lift. Let's hold here. Can you take one hand off, then the other? Long arms. We're holding, holding, holding. Good job. And we take both feet down. We relax. Go ahead and hang over your legs. Open your legs out to the side like a little butterfly stretch. That's fun, right? I love that exercise. I used to not be able to do it and rock to one side all the time. So improvement does happen when you work on something, everyone. Let's get into our half roll back. So our legs are bent, our feet are about 2 inches apart, knees about 2 inches apart, sitting up tall, hands behind the thighs. Let's take an inhale breath, and as we exhale, we tilt the pelvis back, and then we rock forward, and we're in a straight spine. We exhale to tilt the pelvis back, curving the spine. We inhale to grow tall, head comes up last. We exhale, we curve the spine, so we're rocking back to our tailbone. We rock forward and we stack the spine. So let's add on to the exercise. Elbows are lifted, take an inhale breath. Exhale, we tilt the pelvis back, we pause. Now we roll back almost to our waistband, drop your shoulders. Scooping the abs in, we inhale and we curl forward. And then we stack the spine at the top. Head comes up last. And again, we have a light grip on the back of the thighs. We're dropping our shoulders as we tilt the pelvis back. And now we roll backwards. So lower the spine towards your mat. We pause, we rock forward, and we stack our spine. Shoulders, then head comes up last. And again, we tilt the pelvis back like someone sucker punched you in the stomach. Now we roll back, so spine lowers. Let's take one hand off, we pause, and then the other. Give me 8 little pulses here. So 8, 7, shoulders down, abs in. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands go back behind the thighs. And we curve. And now we stack up the spine once we feel your little sits bones into the ground. Let's do that again. So check your form. Legs are about 2 inches apart. We tuck the tail. We roll back like you got sucker punched. Drop those shoulders. Abs are in. Take one hand off, then the other. Long arms. And 8 little crunches. 7, 6, looking at the belly. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hands go back behind the thighs. We curl up to sit up into a straight spine. And we relax. Shake it out a little bit. So our legs are bent. Let's do a full roll back. So arms are long out in front of us. Legs are bent. Take an inhale breath. As you exhale, you tuck your tail. And we roll our spine into the mat one bone at a time. Keeping our feet on the ground, shoulders down, abs in. Rolling all the way down. And head comes last. We relax in the head. Let's bring one knee into our chest, the other knee into our chest, and give ourselves that little Pilates hug for release. So with both knees into our chest, we're going to get straight into our ab series. So take both of your hands, place them on your right shin. We're going to take an inhale breath. As you exhale, you lift the head, lift the chest, and you hold this position, shoulders down, abs in. Extend your left leg long towards the ceiling. We inhale, we exhale, we switch. Inhale, exhale, switch arms, switch legs. We're going slow here. Inhale, exhale, switch, abs in, shoulders down. And let's switch. And switch. We're going a little faster. And switch. And switch. Good. Try to keep that pelvis stable. And switch. And switch. And switch. Abs in. Shoulders down. Good. Switch. Both knees in. We roll down. Rock your head no. And we'll go straight into double leg stretch. So take an inhale breath, our knees are into our chest. We exhale, lift the head, lift the chest. Now this time we inhale, arms and legs shoot up towards the ceiling. Circle the arms, gather your knees back in on an exhale. Arms and legs shoot up, circle the arms, and back to center. Good, squeeze your legs together as you shoot them towards the ceiling. We should be lifted here looking at the belly. Arms and legs shoot up towards the ceiling. You'll see me doing diagonally. That's just to make it harder for myself. Inhale, arms and legs shoot out. Exhale, scoop the abs in. Arms and legs shoot out, squeeze the legs together. And we roll down when we come all the way in. Rock your head no. Shake out your legs a little bit. So now let's place both feet on the floor and take your hands and put them in a little diamond shape or a little triangle shape like you see here. Now lift your booty and place your little triangle or diamond underneath your tailbone. Make sure you're able to feel your fingertips hanging out from underneath your tailbone. Bring one knee into your chest, then the other, and we'll get into lower lift. So you should feel supported by your hands. Lift your elbows slightly. Take an inhale breath. And as you exhale, you lift the head, lift the chest, shoulders down. Extend both legs toward the sky. Squeeze your legs together. Now we lower for 3 counts. And we lift for 1 count. So we lower, 2, 3, and we lift. Good. And we lower. Don't lower so much to where you start feeling an arch in the back. We lift. Squeeze the legs together as you lower on an inhale breath. And we lift. See if you can lift a little higher with the head and the chest. We lift, squeeze those abs in. We lower, stay lifted here. We lift. Go ahead and bend the knees into your chest. Roll down and give yourself a little hug. So those are only 3 of the 5 Pilates abdominal series. We'll get more into the full series in a later video. So let's get into pelvic lift. So our feet are about 2 inches apart, knees about 2 inches apart. We have that low space below the low back still. So we're in our neutral spine, our neutral pelvis. Arms are long by your side, palms pressing into the floor, triceps pressing into the floor. Take an inhale breath, and as you exhale, I want you to imprint your low back into the mat, and then continue to lift your booty toward the ceiling. Only halfway up. Inhale at the top. Then as we exhale, we lower the spine. So mid-back, low back, waistband, and then tailbone hits last. And again, we take an inhale breath. We exhale, tilt the pelvis back to imprint the low back. Now we lift the booty toward the ceiling, only halfway up. We inhale at the top. We exhale, we melt our spine, starting from the top of the spine all the way down to your tailbone. And let's do that again. We take an inhale breath, relax in your shoulders. We exhale, tilt your pelvis back to imprint the low back. Now, using the back of the legs, the booty muscles, we lift halfway up. We inhale and we exhale. We roll all the way back down. Tailbone should hit last. So let's do a variation. We take our inhale breath. We exhale to tilt the pelvis back. We lift the booty toward the sky. Now, pause here. We lower the booty an inch. We lift the booty an inch. And lower and lift. And lower and lift. So we're moving the hips up and down. Up and down. Squeeze those glutes. Last one. Pause here. Inhale. And we exhale. Again, we melt our spine into our mat, one bone at a time. Let's do that one more time. Inhale first. We exhale to imprint the low back, and we lift the booty up toward the ceiling. Only halfway up. Don't pop your ribs out. And we lower the booty an inch and up an inch. And we lower and lift. Lower and lift. Abs are in. Squeeze those booty muscles. Make sure your knees are still parallel. And lift. Inhale here. Pause. And we exhale. We melt one bone into the mat at a time. Tailbone comes last. Great. Let's extend our legs long. Shake them out because that is hamstringy. I know that's not a word. So let's now roll onto our side for some sideline work. We are going to take our bottom arm, so face me. We're going to lay on our bicep, palm facing up. Our legs are long. Bring them forward till you look like a little banana. So your feet should be off your mat essentially. Let's stack our hips, so hips on top of each other, right? And our shoulders are stacked on top of each other. We're not rocking back, we're not rocking forward, we're right on top of our hips. Our abs are pulling in and up. Flex your feet like you're standing on the floor. Push energy through your heels. Now with your top leg, we lift for 3 counts and we lower for 1 count. So lift, 2, 3, and lower. Lift, 2, 3, and lower. Lift, 2, 3, and lower. Opposite hand is just right in front of the chest like a kickstand. And lower. Lift, 2, 3, and lower. And let's switch. So we lift for 1 count, lower for 3 counts. So lift and lower, 2, 3, and lift and lower, 2, 3. Keep those feet flexed. Lower, 2, 3, and lift. Lower, 2, 3, and lift. Abs in. And relax for 1 moment. Good, everyone. So let's get into some tiny circles with the top leg. Check your form, abs in, shoulders stacked, hips stacked, legs are squeezing together. Flex your feet like you're standing on the floor. Lift the top leg. 8 little circles with the top leg. 7, 6, brush your thighs together. 3, 2, 1, and reverse. And 8, 7, 6, brush your thighs together. 4, coming from the hip. 2, 1, and relax. Great job. So let's get into some clams. So let's check our form. Make sure underneath your side body, closest to the mat, you can see a little bit of daylight. So make sure we're not sinking into our hip. Our knees are aligned, our hips are stacked, our shoulders are stacked, abs are in. So keep your feet glued together as you open the top leg and you close it to a hover. As you open, make sure your hips don't rock backward. So open on an inhale, and we exhale to close. Or you can open on an exhale and inhale to close. As long as you're breathing. Beautiful. Now let's open, close the leg halfway. Give me 8 little pulses. 7, 6, 5. Keep those feet glued together, abs in. 2, 1. Hold it. And we close. Ooh, you should be really feeling that in your glutes. Let's now keep the knees on the floor, but lift the feet. Glue the legs together like you have 1 leg. Our hips are still stacked, abs in, shoulders stacked. Relax in the upper part of the body. Now, let's open the top leg and close the top leg. So we open, keep the feet glued together, and we close to a hover. We open and close. You should be burning already. Open and close, open. Now let's close halfway. Give me 8 pulses here. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it. We lower. Ooh, I felt that one. All on that side glute. Beautiful, everyone. Let's switch sides because we have another side. Yay! We're on our opposite side now. So our head is on our bicep, the arm closest to the floor, the palms facing up. Our feet and our legs are off of our mat, so bring your feet forward like you're a little banana. Flex the feet like you're standing on the floor. Our hips are stacked, our shoulders are stacked, abs are in. And we lift the top leg for 3 counts. And we lower for 1. And we lift 2, 3, and lower. Lift 2, 3, and lower. Opposite hand is just like a kickstand in front of the chest, and lower. And lower. And lift for 3, and lower for 1. And lift 2, 3, and lower. Let's reverse. So lift for 1, lower for 3. Lift 3, 2, 1, and lift, lower, 3, 2, 1. Flex those feet still, abs are in. We lift, lower, 2, 1. We lift, lower, 2, 1. Good. Relax for 1 moment. So we're going to flex our feet, abs in, making sure we're not popping out the front of the chest. Lift your leg about 1/2 inch. Feet are flexed. 8 little circles with the leg. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and reverse. And 8. Brush your thighs together. Feet are flexed. 4, 3, 2, 1. And we relax. Good. Let's bend our legs for our clams. So check your form. Hips are stacked. Abs in. Shoulders stacked. Knees are at the same height. Keep your feet glued together as we open the top leg. Your opposite hand can be right in front of the chest like a kickstand or on your hip. So we lift and we lower. Exhale to lift. Make sure you don't fall back on your hips. And we lift and lower to a hover. Keep your feet together and lower. And lift and lower and lift. Now let's close halfway. Give me 8 pulses towards the sky. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. We hold it and we relax. Good. So now let's keep our knees on the ground. Lift both of our feet. Glue the leg together like you have one leg. Check your form. Abs in. Hand is like a kickstand. Now we open the top leg and we close to a hover. And we open and we close. Don't forget to breathe. I like to breathe on an exhale to lift, inhale to lower. And exhale to open, lower, open. Now let's close halfway. 8 little pulses here. 7, 6, 5, 4. Abs in still. 3, 2, 1. And we relax. Woo! Let's now roll onto our back with our knees bent, feet on the floor. Take one foot of your choice and place it over your opposite knee. And push that leg's knee out and pull it in. So pushing it out and pulling it in. Relax in the shoulders here. Relax in the toes. Let's now, if you want to, with your standing leg, grab its thigh, behind the thigh, or grab its shin. And we're just relaxing here. You can rock side to side. Really pull your leg into your chest. And when you're ready, let's switch sides. So opposite foot on opposite knee. We'll do that again. We'll push the knee out and we'll pull it in. We'll push the knee out and we'll pull it back in. Good. So just breathe here. Now, if you want to, take your hands and grab behind your thigh that's with the standing leg, or you can grab behind the shin. If you grab behind the shin, it's a deeper stretch. And if you're here, really pull your knee into your chest, and you can rock side to side if it feels good for you. I like to do that. And both legs down. Let's bring our knees into our chest and rock up to sit. I'm going to sit in the direction that I was before. You can stay where you're at. Let's flex our feet like we're standing on the floor. Legs are about hip distance apart. Let's place our hands on our shoulders. Now bend your knees if you can't sit up tall. We're taking an inhale breath to start, and as we twist to the left, we exhale like we're wringing out a washcloth. We untwist and then we twist to the right. Now as we're doing this, shoulders are down, abs are in. We're sitting up tall the entire time, and our lower half of the body is completely stable. So don't shift in your feet and your hips. We twist to the left and back to center. We twist, take that big exhale and back to center. Last time to the left, back to center. Last time to the right. And let's forward fold over our legs. You can relax your feet. You can grab onto your toes or your feet or your shins, wherever you can grab. And let's now roll onto our stomach. So rolling onto our tummy, we're laying all the way down. Let's place our hands right on top of each other, elbows out to the side, and our hands are right on our forehead. We're squeezing our abdominals in, we're squeezing our glutes. Push your hip bones into the mat. And let's lift on an inhale. So lift the chest, keep your hands glued to your forehead, and then we lower. So abs in as we lift the upper part of the body. So just the upper part of the body is moving. Keep your toes on the ground as you lift the head, lift the chest, keeping your hands glued to your forehead. And we lower. We're working our upper back extensors here. And we lift. Shoulders are down away from the ears. And we lower on an exhale breath. Beautiful. We lift. Now don't lift too much if you're feeling anything in your low back. We lower. Now on this next one, we lift, pause, give me 8 pulses towards the sky. So let's lift and pulses here. 8, 7, 6, abs in, 4, 3, 2, 1. We lower and our arms come long out in front of us. So our legs about hip distance apart. Really push your bones, your hip bones and your pubic bone into your mat and squeeze your glutes. Now take an inhale breath here, and as you exhale, just lift the legs off the mat. Upper part of the body is stable. We lower them, and now this time, we lift the upper part of the body. We're still looking at the floor, so long back of the neck. And we switch abs in as we lift the legs. So try to lift your thighs up off the floor. Squeeze those booty muscles. And now we lift the upper part of the body. So pull those shoulders away from your ears. And the back lifts. Point those toes, squeeze your glutes. Now the upper part of the body. Pull those shoulders away from the ears. And we lower. Great. So now let's lift both arms and both legs. Inhale. Exhale to lift both arms and legs. We hold. Look down at your mat. And start kicking the legs and pumping the arms like you're swimming away from a killer shark. Point those toes. We inhale and exhale here. Abs in. We're swimming, swimming, swimming. Don't get eaten by the shark. We hold and we lower. Beautiful. Let's place our hands by our armpits and push back into a child's pose. So sit on your heels, have a heavy head, let your head drop between your arms, and breathe here. Take deep inhales and deep exhales, thanking yourself for this beautiful work that you did. Let's roll up to sit, stack the spine, head comes up last. Let's sit crisscross applesauce facing your TV, phone, facing me. We'll do some spinal movement before we say goodbye. So take your right hand, place it on your left knee. Your left arm goes behind you straight and we twist. So look all the way behind you. We inhale forward and we exhale sitting tall to twist. So we're just twisting our spine here. And keep twisting and releasing to each side. Thank you everyone for joining me on your mat for this 45-minute complete body workout for beginners. I want you to comment below what your favorite part of the video was, what you felt like really helped you, or what you felt made you already a little bit stronger. You can pretty much comment anything that you'd like to know, to ask, all that good stuff. So again, thank you my fitness junkies, my Pilates junkies. I will see you next time.